Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
12 celebrities check into the Big Brother house, including icon Dina Lohan. We question what's really going on with Wendy Williams. Marie Garofalo and I analyze Lindsay Lohan Beach Club. And later, I rant about New Jersey Housewives and the Fyre Festival docs. Lian Castillo rejoins the Rants. Let the ranting begin. I am joined by Lian Castillo, actor from HBO's Camping and a TV host. You know him from AfterBuzz TV. You know him from the Rants. He's been on before. Welcome to the Rants, Lian. Hello.
Hi, everybody. How we doing?
Welcome back to the Rants.
Thank you for having me.
I am trying to maintain as much of the show as I can right now. I want to give like a little programming note that I haven't been here as often as I would like. I've been producing up to like 5 different shows right now. It seems it's actually 3, but or 4 counting this one. So yeah, basically, and it's been a lot. It's been all podcasts all the time, tons of deadlines, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm flat out exhausted. So I am doing as much as I can to maintain, and I will not like just be ghosting from the show. So I have to do the best that I can, and here we are.
Well, at least you look good.
Oh, thank you. I think so. It's only because it's been a long weekend and I slept. But let's talk about a few things, because I genuinely am really excited about Celebrity Big Brother on CBS. I just need something. It's the dead of winter. I need something different. Are you going to watch the show?
I might just watch it. Kandi's on it from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think she might be the richest person on Celebrity Big Brother that they've ever had. I don't know if you agree with that, but it might be enough to get me to watch. I've never actually seen the show, but people tell me all the time, you would be great on it. Is that shade?
No, I think you would do good on that show. I personally am done with the summer version with just like the lay people of the United States that they find. Like it's just regular, they're all 22, 23, and they're all on Instagram. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't care to see that. But the celebrity version, I like to see a mix of personalities. That's why I like to put together a panel. I like different ensemble shows. So I'm definitely going to watch a few of the highlights. I mean, anyone who's listened to a minute of this show knows what I'm about to say. Dina Lohan, A1, number 1, triple A at the top. We'll definitely be watching for her.
That's exciting.
Like, that it really does excite me.
She's an icon.
And also, those who have been listening know I have been lobbying for her to be on one of these shows, one of these celebrity shows forever, and including the UK version. But now she's here. She's in the Big Brother house as we speak. I'm so excited.
You know what I love about Big Brother also? Not to like get off into another season, but what I do remember is New York being on it. And someone coming up to her and she's like, David's dead.
The
and
UK
New York
version.
is like, what? David's dead? And this whole like minute clip that went viral, it was amazing.
Yes.
So you know what? I might have to watch. I might have to join this Big Brother cult.
Yes. This version's a little less outrageous than the UK version because the US version is all about gameplay, but for what I've seen, I looked at a little bit of the live feeds and no one's talking game. They're all together in the same room because nobody wants to be alone or separated from the group, because then, as soon as you leave the room, they're all going to talk about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a lot of group activity, but I'm really excited for Dina from New York, Kandi Burruss, of course, and Tamar Braxton. She's going to make for a great TV gift moment. Yeah. However, what I've noticed is there seems to be a conscious separation between her and Kandi. I wonder what their relationship is like.
I don't know. I did see a clip of Kandi being really annoyed with her housemates right away. I feel like her attitude's going to be like, I'm too rich to be here. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I don't know. I would think there would be a sisterhood of just successful womenhood.
In music, yeah. I thought they would like hit it off, but I guess that maybe they're just they're so similar they cancel each other out. Like, they've both been on reality TV shows and know everything in the business. And of course, one of the like the 4 clips that I watched, Tamar was just going down the list of all the people that she's friends with and all of her Calabasas neighbors, and none of them were the dentist next door. They were all like, big names, of course. Anthony Scaramucci, I can't stand the guy. He's on there. I can't stand when they cast Olympians. Same thing with Dancing with the Rejects and all these other people they have to put on the athletes. They do not have the personality to carry a reality TV show.
Half the time we don't know who they are. We have to look them up.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Tom Green, barely interested. Joey Lawrence, forgot he existed. He looks good.
Wait, is that the bald one? Or
Yeah.
Oh God,
He's definitely had some work done, but he's still
the shaved
fit.
head image is just so. It's a lot for me. It's very rough. I'm just like, you look. It's very, very American History X.
Yeah. And I only wrote down the one that cast the names that caught my attention. Basically, there was one like there was some football player I don't care, someone else from Total Divas I don't know, but then there's this Jonathan Bennett from
Mean Girls, who has just gotten gayer than Christmas
and has just ridden the coattails from like this 20-year-old movie. I mean,
he hasn't booked anything else. I think it's because at that age he was just at that perfect transitioning phase.
Yeah.
But now that he is a proud homosexual, I just don't think casting wise he's really done himself any favors.
I give him credit for just dragging that. I mean, this has been a good couple months for him. Thank you. Next video.
Exactly.
He hosted the after show for Lindsay Lohan Beach Club. I mean, okay.
Good for him.
Yeah, someone's working for him.
Thank you, Ariana Grande, for giving him a job.
Yeah, and now for this. So, I don't know, but you're right. I mean, he's definitely a little outrageous. We'll see. So, the show is 13 episodes. It's going to conclude on the 13th of February. It's beginning, of course, on the 21st. So, at the time of listening to the show, it's on. There's a 2-night premiere. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely watching, so I wonder how it will do. But I'm here 1,000% for Dina. So that's
Team Dina
that's
all the way.
From Team Dina to another one on the East Coast, Wendy Williams. Lots to say about this one. Lots to unpack here, as they will say. I did a video over the holidays with my grandmother where we drove around. You can find it on Grant's Rants Facebook, and you can search Grant's Rants, Granny's Rants, whatever. And we mentioned Wendy, and it's just gotten worse since then. She's delayed her show return for the 3rd time. We saw the fractured shoulder, and now she's been hospitalized for Graves' disease. And there's a statement that's been released I'm sure we'll talk about. What are your initial impressions around Wendy? There's a lot going on.
There's a lot happening, and I feel like it's all coming to the surface. Sometimes we try to hide things, but it just comes to a boiling point. I feel like with Wendy, I feel like it's very family issue related. I think her husband has a lot to do with this. From the tea, from what I've heard, is that he went into the production and tried to set the record straight and had a staff meeting. But what ended up happening was he kind of went berserk and went crazy on the staff and tried to basically find a mole that somebody was leaking information to the press. So he was kind of baiting everybody in private, giving them different information to see what would leak to try to connect the dots.
Oh, wow.
But in reality, he's alienating people. He's breaking the trust. I mean, this is a company that employs hundreds of people, and now it's just, there's an uncertainty there, which is fine. That happens. But when you throw in a shady husband, now it's just like people don't really know what to think.
You know, I mean, you work on a gossip show. Like, who do you think is going to be working there? People digging, and they want to be a source themselves. And here they are in the Hot Topic studio, and they have all the devices to be able to spread the word. For those who don't know, there's a lot of controversy around the husband. Apparently, he bought another woman who's much younger than Wendy, like half her age, a house. She's allegedly pregnant, and she's been in and out with photos of the two of them going to the gym, taking walks through the city. Like, they have been seen together more than a couple times. So there's something to that. Somebody, this is all on Daily Mail, so, you know, here we'll just cover ourselves at that.
Grain of salt.
Yeah. But they opened up the mailbox of this woman's house, and it said her name written on a Post-it and his name underneath.
Ooh.
Now, apparently, his name isn't Kevin, it's Kelvin. It's a whole mess. But she has to address all of this because even E! News covered it. Now, they were very respectful with how they went about it. It wasn't like, a YouTube blogger or vlogger where they were really kind of just throwing it all out there. They were very measured with what they said, but they acknowledged, like, hey, there's been a lot of noise around her marriage. Is it open? Whatever. She really should address it just because of the platform that she's on. I don't see how she can be that private and then talk about other people's private lives. It's just a different thing. It's not like she's a librarian. What she does at home, she does at home.
Yeah.
She's a public figure.
It's hard, though. I feel like she will come around and she will have to address it eventually. But first, let's have a breakdown. And I just think that's what's happening.
I think she's having a breakdown. Yeah.
I think she is having a breakdown.
She must be going through it. I mean, put that on social media. I think she owes it to her friends to be honest with them. I think she would only gain more respect from them.
Totally.
Just to be honest, if she says it like she means it, yeah, like that's the whole idea. You got to be completely honest. Like the way I was at the top of this show, I'm not pretending I've been, doing a ton of work to get the show out. I mean, I had to be honest. I'm just going through a lot. So, I mean, I'm not on the Wendy Williams level,
the fainting thing?
Well, it's all that Graves' disease. I mean, it's just stress is a bitch.
Yeah.
Stress is a killer.
It really can get you.
So they had, and at the time of recording this episode, they had guest co-host on a panel. I couldn't watch it. I wasn't interested. Now they're going to have repeats, and then they're going to come back with a rotating kind of, I guess, like
variety of
hosts. Yeah. So, all right, whatever. I will be curious, just on a side note, to see if she casts any female rotating hosts, because I know she said on the show that she would never have another woman sit in her spot, because then that would give them, a place to have a platform on her. So I'd be curious to see if it's all men, maybe it's all gay men. Like, I'm curious to see who's going to get it. So who knows? I don't know if she even has a say in all this. Apparently she's still in the hospital. And like I mentioned, Daily Mail did a year-long investigation, and they pretty much convinced me that there's at least a double life going on there.
Yeah.
So
evidence doesn't lie, pictures don't lie.
That's it. That's what they had. So we shall see. I'm curious to keep up with the story. I had a moment this week when I watched the second episode of Lindsay Lohan Beach Club over on MTV. 2 episodes have aired at the time of this recording. And my friend Marie Garofalo, who I've been friends with her forever, I went to her place in Pasadena. We watched, and then we had to talk about it. Let's take a listen. I'm here with Marie on a wet January evening, ranting about Lindsay Lohan Beach Club. Episode 2, we just sat through it. Marie, thoughts?
We did. I have to be honest, I feel like I kept looking at the clock to see what time it was. It felt like it dragged on.
I honestly looked forward to watching this all day because I knew I was coming over. Up in Pasadena, we were just visiting.
With pizza.
And it was like a whole affair. For us. I brought a cake. And I think the idea was way more interesting than the actual show, and I'm a little disappointed because I enjoyed the first episode so much.
I think the first episode was great because we got to really see, like, Lindsay in her element. She was meeting all of the VIP hosts. She was giving her motivational speeches.
And she also was rebranded. She was almost reborn. Now she's this boss.
Right.
Now she's a business brand. So I was like, okay, like, this is the new Lindsay. We're not watching her on own, like, falling out of a window. We're not watching her falling out of a club. She's not in front of a judge.
Right.
So, like, okay. This is the new mature Lindsay, which I was accepting of. But I needed to see more of her. There's a scene in tonight's episode of her bonding with a random infant.
It was the most real moment. I feel like, it focused way too much this time on the hosts living in that house and, like, this manufactured drama with Brent and, saying that all the girls are, like, 2s and they're not attractive, and the only reason that the guys think they're attractive is because they're the only girls around. I don't know. it felt like that storyline went on, and it was just not
it did.
good.
Like I kept saying, how many times did I say, "Where's Lindsay? Where is she?" Like, like what's she doing? And we caught her on FaceTime. There was a random scene of her making fish with some hangers on.
And honestly, too much Panos. Too much. Like, why is he in the shot and she's being FaceTimed?
Yeah, for those who aren't watching, Panos is her other investor in this beach club, and he's kind of her right-hand gay who's handling all these things.
And he wears trendy hats.
Yes.
Always a different pair of sunglasses.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, always a different pair. Who knows what the collection looks like?
He was in almost looks like a...
It was like a romper kind of thing.
Like
yeah.
a floral, yeah.
I don't know.
He's colorful, but I said on Instagram, like, I know a lot of Panoses. I know a lot of people like him. I got his number. He's here for it to be on camera, and he's riding the coattails of MTV and Lindsay as far as he can take them.
Yep.
So whatever. I don't really mind him that much because at least he kind of stands for something. He has a bit of an opinion. A lot of the people who are on the show are called ambassadors or VIP hosts, and they're brought on. Basically, they're cast. They're cast people from Colorado, Washington D.C., West Hollywood, L.A., and they're all on there to try to. I don't know what the goal is, to just work there for a month. I mean, what's the goal? Then they all have to sit around in this episode and write what their goals were on a piece of paper. I mean, I think they were really shot for like 30 days. So, like, what are your goals in 30 days on a reality show?
Yeah, that felt like a very highly produced piece. Like, now we're all going to sit around this table and film you guys pretending to actually have these goals.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you can tell that these people were, like, sought after. I mean, the one guy said he was working in Vegas. I mean, this was really an opportunity, I'm sure, that was like, hey, want to go to Greece and work for Lindsay Lohan?
Sure.
Come on. So that's why when they say that, like, this is so important to their careers and they're taking it so seriously, it's like, or you're just going to be on an MTV reality show and, like, calm down. So, but that one shot of Lindsay, though, she looked really good.
One of the confessional looks. I think she's in a black leather jacket or something.
Yeah, and her hair was, like, off to one side, and just the makeup looked different. Like, she looked really, really good. I wonder if that was, like, afterwards, and then they just added in those little confessionals. But, I mean, honestly, I'm just glad she's still alive.
Marie and I have talked about Lindsay for years, and we've talked about it on this show before. We've known each other forever, which seems like forever.
Yeah, it'll be like 9 years. Yeah, crazy.
And Lindsay's always come up. We've talked about the OWN documentary. She's come on Grant's Rants. I believe you were like guest 2 or 3.
Yeah, I was an early podcast, and I remember that was 2011 because we talked about the D23 Expo, which was that Disney convention.
Must have been 2015 because that's when the show started.
It wasn't that early?
No, unfortunately. It feels like it. Some days it feels like this show's been
I wish
forever.
I'm like, no, it must have been that. Like, that's right. Because it was all the odd years that I worked it. So that would totally make sense. But I remember I had just like finished working at it and you interviewed me and we talked all about it and everything.
So insider intel on D23.
But we've known each other for much longer than that, so
the last episode of Grant's Rants, I said, hey, I don't think this is going to be what I thought. I think it's going to be kind of bookended by Lindsay, and we're going to have to live the lives of these 4 higher cast hosts. That's kind of what it's become, and I was really intrigued by last week's the original pilot episode of Lindsay Lohan Beach Club. And unfortunately, this kind of seems to follow suit of what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. They might fire this guy Brent, who should be fired. Lindsay doesn't seem to care if he's there or not. And then did you catch, and I always look for these things. So Panos called her on FaceTime and he had to explain to her some of the names, and she kind of was like, huh? He's like, well, the ambassadors. And she's like, oh, right. So but doesn't she know, the cameras are doesn't she know what they're doing?
I know. Part of me thinks, is her brain maybe permanently,
oh God.
I don't know. I feel like there's some brain cells, though, that just never bounced back after everything that happened. Yeah. That's the thing that's interesting, though. And I don't know, we were talking about, like, you know, being in that environment and like the issues that she's had in the past, kind of like how she is, because I feel like in some of the confessionals or in some of the moments with that she's talking to the ambassador, she seems like very with it and very aware. And then other times she seems totally out of it. And I'm just like, oh, Lindsay, like, are you okay? Like,
yeah, I explained this show to someone at work the other day, and I was like, it's just worth watching just to see Lindsay figure it out. Like, just literally just figuring out what she's there to do, who these people are. Like, it's just funny to watch her. But yeah, I mean, my eyes are glued when she's on the screen. And then the rest of them, I don't remember half their names. So obviously I've gotten more into it. But I mean, like, it's always a bad sign when I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
But Aristotle I like, or Aristotle, however you say his name. I enjoy him. He has a nice head of hair.
Beautiful hair.
Beautiful man.
Yes. A Greek man. So he like fits in that environment.
Yeah.
And he's great.
This other guy, Billy, he has a nice body, nice build. And there's that guy, Michael, who's kind of blending into the background. He's from New Jersey / West Hollywood.
Seems to be getting along with all the girls.
Yeah, I think that he's one to kind of watch. He seems like he's kind of going to be the most down to earth. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, do I care enough? I don't know. The difference is between this and Vanderpump Rules is Vanderpump Rules is an established relationship show. I mean, all those people, not only have they been friends, they've practically all slept together.
Right. So
now this is really like a bunch of people thrown in, you know, MTV style, similar to that show, What Happens at the Abbey or Meet Me at the Abbey or whatever. And that, let me be honest, and people who watch that show know what I'm talking about, that is not the show to use as a model for a reality show. That show crashed and burned so hard they ended up burning it off on 11 o'clock Fridays on E! So, I mean, let's progress.
Right. And do you know how many episodes this is on for?
12, I believe.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. I was thinking like 8.
The show premiered to good numbers, and we'll have to see how it does from here on out. Will you maintain viewership of Lindsay Lohan Beach Club on MTV?
Good question. You know, this time of year is always hard because all the shows come back from like the winter break, and I feel like I have no less than 37 shows a week to keep up with. No, yeah. I don't think it's quite that many, but even like then a lot of the Netflix shows come back, and I just feel like there's a lot. You know, I watch some other shows on MTV, so I feel like I'm drawn in when I see like the commercials and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, like I want to see what happens next. And I do feel such a connection to Lindsay. Like, I think I've watched The Parent Trap 1,000 times, like truly. So
you and Dina.
Me and Dina, yes.
I'll be watching. I'm going to keep watching. I know a lot of people listen to the show are watching or curious, and I'll let you know what I think. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'm glad we could watch it together tonight.
Yeah, this was a nice time.
It was a great adventure. And
thanks for having me.
Thanks for braving the rain.
Oh,
yeah.
That's all right.
The LA rain.
Thank you for having me over. Lindsay Lohan Beach Club airs on MTV Tuesday nights. Lian, have you watched? What are your thoughts?
It's so good. I mean, it's so bad. It's so good. It's everything. I mean, it's Lindsay Lohan. I had to watch. She's iconic.
Of course.
And the iconic dance from Mykonos was featured. I had to see how that played out. So.
That's the hook, I guess. 12 episodes, though. Kind of a lot.
That is a lot of episodes. I didn't know that until right now.
Yeah.
I figured it would be 8 to 10 at the most.
I was hoping 8. Like, really.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it was, the first episode got me kind of hooked. I loved it. I loved the fights. I love how they were baited with alcohol. The only thing is that Lindsay doesn't look like her old self, and it's kind of sad. But she still is her sassy self, which I do like.
Yeah, I mean, she's the new boss in town, and we're told. This is what we're told, so we'll see.
And I just like that we're listening to Bossy again.
Yes, me too. I love that. I even had to make an Insta story about that. Again, Dina, where are you? I'm looking for you. I need Dina to make an appearance on the show. I don't think she'd pass up an opportunity to be on MTV, but I'm hoping not. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to be taking a look at the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I have some thoughts, and I haven't really talked about this show in a while, and I know Lian's watching, so it's definitely time to talk about that. And then, have you watched the Fyre Festival documentaries, plural, one, the other? We'll talk all about it. I have a lot of thoughts. That and more with Lian coming up next. Now this.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Subscribe and spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms. And now, back to the show.
And we're back on the Rants talking with Lian Castillo here, and we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey. I've put it on social media. I'm really enjoying the season, and I didn't expect to like it.
They're back. They're back. I mean, when Melissa and Teresa are fighting, that's when it's good.
See, that's the part that I don't enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
Melissa joining the show without telling her sister-in-law. Yeah. And I feel because of that moment, it will forever be a little wedge between them, the little pea at the bottom of the mattress.
Yeah.
And I like when they fight because it's not always kisses and bubbles all the time. And they always have tension, so I like when they actually get some of it out. But I do like the family aspect. I like when they're together. I like when they're sisters. But everyone's playing their part.
Well, that's what I enjoy. There's more than one thing to talk about. And there's been a rotation of events and things and anger and daggers being thrown literally. And I'm enjoying that. Just because it's like, I don't know, between OC and Beverly Hills, which is just the worst. I can't do it anymore with hearing about one storyline for 23 weeks. I don't have the time. So with this show, I really do come away entertained. I actually thought I had an episode, went back, found out I didn't. I was disappointed. When does that happen anymore? I thought I was, not caught up, but I was and was sad. There's a lot I want to say. Let's talk about Danielle. She says in the recent episodes, she said that Margaret told her not to trust anyone and started to name all the names of the ladies, including Teresa and Melissa. Margaret says she didn't say names. What do you think?
This is totally just history repeating itself with the Dolores thing.
Yep.
Last season when she just said that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she brings up this gossip that Dolores said about Teresa, all she cares about is money. You have to watch what you say with Danielle because she'll use whatever she can to have a storyline. This is a woman that has been waiting in the wings for years, waiting for this redemption story. And now that she's here, in my opinion, she's kind of playing it safe. I don't really like this Danielle. The glimpses of evil are still there. Why not harp on it and showcase it? This is the woman that pulled the book out, put it on the table, created this fight that catapulted Teresa into mainstream stardom.
Yeah. You know what it is? She isn't passive aggressive. She's aggressive. And that's what I guess that's what you want more of.
Yeah, I do. I like when Danielle is straight up evil because when she's trying to be a good person, guess what? We're not buying it.
Yeah.
She doesn't come off as a good person, even when she's trying to be normal. She's not.
You know what I'm not buying is Teresa. And I don't know if you watch these YouTube after shows that Bravo's been putting out. They're like 10, 11 minutes. I don't really know, but Teresa is trying so hard to justify Danielle's actions, and it's really like
she's coming off really bad too.
She's coming off really stupid. I hate to say it.
I don't understand it either.
Another idiot on the show, Jennifer. Everything with this one is about her Turkish culture. She was in Jackie's house. Apparently, I don't know if they grabbed this or whatever, but when she walked in the bathroom, she said it was a complete dump or something.
That was amazing.
I loved that. I can only hope it was real.
She was being so nice the entire time. She was like, "Oh, you have a beautiful home." She's like, but in the confessional, she's like, "You think I was going to pass up this opportunity to see where she lives?" So as soon as she went into the bathroom and there was no one around, of course she was mic'd, she had the opportunity to throw in a dig, and she goes, "Ugh, what a dump."
I like Jackie's house.
Jackie's house is beautiful. It's just not a mansion like Jennifer's house is.
Yeah, and it has a different interior design. It doesn't have like all these, ridiculous thrones and over-the-top furniture. Gaudy type stuff.
And you know what? Just to bring up the article, it wasn't bad at all. I read it myself.
You read the full article that Jackie wrote, allegedly saying Jennifer's kids were completely spoiled and she attacked her children.
It was completely nothing like that. It was a beautifully articulated article.
I bet.
Talking about subliminally children, if you give them everything, are they still going to be as pleasant as, she just said they were pleasant. Like, there was nothing bad in there.
Yeah.
Principal, there's enough to fight about there, but it's not that deep.
Yeah, I'm okay with this if it only goes on maybe 1, maybe 2 more weeks. And then, of course, the reunion we know, but like other things, even like Teresa with Melissa and the father not being in touch as much. Apparently Melissa prevents Joe from seeing us talking to his father or whatever.
That's another storyline I can't get with either.
But that is at least on the back burner right now. Like, let this article thing live on the back burner until reunion time. We've covered all ends. But
then we have Jackie and Teresa too.
Well,
and them fighting. So there's lots of juice here.
No, this is a good season, and I haven't been able to say that about Real Housewives of New Jersey in a long time. And I want to give a little shout out to Margaret for just being the voice of the audience, at least for me. To me, the way she perceives these people, Danielle, just the straight talk, like I can relate to Margaret quite a bit.
I love Margaret. She's great. And I don't like what Danielle's doing to her this season. And I feel like Margaret really tried to be a good girl's girl and played along with Danielle. But I'm glad that Dolores was like, you know what? I told you guys about this.
Yep.
I told you this about her. Bye.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And one last thing. That Melania song has been stuck in my head the entire weekend. So.
Hey, it's me. It's Melania. You've probably seen me on TV. You've probably seen me rolling around with my best friends, Tay-Tay and Stephanie.
I love it. And the two of them, Tay-Tay and Stephanie, don't know what's going on. All my impression of the song is, and this is awful, but who cares? It's just like, grow up, blow up, can't wait to show up.
That actually sounds so
my
much
dad
better.
and my mom and
She
everybody's
just cannot
here.
sing.
I can't wait to. Well, she's rapping, so I'm not making fun of the girl, but the song itself. It's catchy.
No musicality, Grant. Come on.
No, she doesn't. But the song is still stuck in my head for better, worse, or in between.
Oh, she created something iconic. I mean, the other day, I just felt like waking up in the middle of the night and tweeting, hey, it's me, it's Melania.
I've been going around my house all weekend going, blow up, I'm going to go to show up, go up. And then you got Teresa in the music video making them play Mall Madness like it's 1985. Like, it's a mess.
Fetty Wap giving his approval on it.
Fetty Wap like literally rolling in and rolling. I think he was there for maybe 25 seconds in the room.
I don't know how much he got paid for that.
Yeah.
For a 25-second cameo on Real Housewives of New Jersey.
He got paid.
Oh, you know he got paid.
Now I got to go into my rant of the day.
Rant of the day.
My rant of the day is going to these Fyre Festival documentaries. Now, where I work, there's a huge billboard that sponsors the Netflix one. Lian mentioned this to me as a possible topic for this episode, and I said, wait a minute. I kind of want to look into this. What is this? Well, I went down the rabbit hole. Last night was a late night here in Studio G. Watched the Netflix documentary, and then I did a little research to talk about the documentary for this show, and then discovered that Hulu had one. They both put them out together this last week in competition. So in a way, it's like a clone of one another. You've got your Hulu version, your Netflix version, and they're competing. So, I'm not really brand loyal to either. So I wanted to see which one just told me more of the truth than anything else.
I've seen the Netflix one, and I was gagged. I loved it. I was shocked. I laughed. I felt very sad for the people of the Bahamas.
Oh,
But I also thought it was, like they said on the show, Darwinism at its finest.
Yep.
But I didn't know that Hulu had one as well. And then I heard that the Hulu one has Billy actually on camera.
The guy,
speaking.
the real scam artist, is on the
So I'm dying to know your thoughts about the Hulu one because he actually speaks on it. But as far as the whole thing, I think it's a huge hot mess.
For those who don't know, for those who don't know, it was this guy William McFarlane, I guess, who at the time was 25.
AKA Billy.
Yeah, he looks like he's lived a hard life. He looked like he was maybe like 35 to me. The Ja Rule, I remember when this was a thing, and I was like, who dug him up? Like, he was really trying to I guess, to get an app going, and then they were going to have like this big app release through this music festival event, and everything went wrong because it was all fraudulent. It was all fraudulent. They didn't have enough resources to do this. They tried to put together this massive remote music festival within like 4 to 6 months time. No plumbing, nothing was planned correctly. And what's the angle of both these documentaries, and I'll say the names of them: Netflix, Fyre, Fyre, The Greatest Party That Never Happened, and Hulu, Fyre, Fyre, Fraud. Both of them really shined a light on the power of influencers, millennials. They got, Bella Hadid and all these big people to do a photo shoot.
That's who we should blame,
promoting.
is all those Instagram models. That's why everybody wanted to go.
That's why everyone wanted to go.
Everyone thought that you were going to be partying with Bella in this crowd in this tiny remote island, Pablo Escobar's old island, supposedly. Oh, it's just a mess.
It was a recipe for a disaster, every single thing. And yeah, this William guy is now he's in federal prison for 6 years and owes, I think, over $23.6 million. I don't know how he's ever going to pay that. He's unemployable. And he's in federal prison. But anyway, what I want to point out is that the Netflix documentary was produced by Jerry Media. And they were the ones that were putting out these posts, and they were the ones that were working with the influencers. And so they produced this Netflix documentary. There's a lot I want to say here, so I want to follow my order of thoughts. So, of course, there's a different spin on it because they're the producers of this documentary. They're not going to make themselves look bad or implicate themselves. Now, the Hulu documentary was done by people not attached, and they had this guy on. So critics are angry at Hulu for paying Billy McFarland to do the interview. They said, you're enabling this guy, you're giving him money, he's a scam artist, he ruined people's lives, why are you supporting him? But I preferred the Hulu version because I just felt it was less agenda-driven, and they made everybody look bad.
Well, because the Jerry Media people, they made it seem like they just did their job as posting, promoting, and stuff. They had no idea. They went down there the day of, and then they realized what they had gotten themselves into.
That was the angle.
But it's like, you had to have known from the people that were there trying to stop this, or trying to at least shine some light or some reality, because that's what it was. It was a bunch of guys that were drunk and high on cocaine, partying 24/7 with a bunch of money, addicted to the money, going, how can we get more? We have all these freaking famous friends. I have Bella Hadid at the click of a way. She can be here and hang out with us. We can create a promo. We can create a buzz. And that's exactly what happened. And they rode that buzz. This is a huge example of what social media and the power of these influences, what it can happen.
Yeah.
You can either create something amazing or do something really bad and cheat a lot of people out of a lot of money and destroy a lot of people's lives. That lady that paid her food workers with her savings killed me.
Well, they put together a GoFundMe, and then Jerry Media gave a bunch of money to that after the fact publicly, which I think they should have given that they should have taken care of that themselves, besides making it into a big public spectacle and a press release. But whatever. I was very unimpressed by Jerry Media, but what I will say, and this is my professional view, is working with an agency when you have a client, and in this case, this Fyre Festival was their client. They're the customer, and they're paying you to do a job. So I can understand why they had to do what they had to do. But ethically, where does it all come together? That's another question. Another thing in this Netflix documentary, Ja Rule is a big part of the beginning, and then he just disappears.
He's trying to act like nothing happened. Yeah. He's been tweeting up a storm saying, I got bamboozled too, you guys. And everyone's like, really?
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I think he's just as responsible for selling an empty dream. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't he be? He was a public figure that was promoting this, and he knew the reality
behind it. There's all sorts of little powers behind it. Billy's little entrepreneur powers and then the influencer's powers. He's the celebrity power.
I encourage people to check it out if you're at all interested. Hulu, Netflix, they kind of lay it all out there. It's kind of current too. I mean, it happened in 2017, so there's...
It's so good.
Yeah, it's nothing you have to really jog your memory about. I mean, it's all relevant stuff, and you've got a lot of it, just for the hell of it. You've got a lot of privileged vloggers there, like living their worst life, so that can be kind of entertaining. I mean, no one got hurt, so whatever. This has been my rant of the day. Well, I haven't seen you since Camping premiered on HBO, and I haven't been able to tell you that I've watched. I enjoyed it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
happy that you got that opportunity. I mean, what a great experience, I'm sure. And even the premiere, this is what's flashing back through my head. The post that you made of you at the premiere. I mean, so exciting. What a career highlight. Tell me, just riding this wave, what has it been like?
Honestly, it's been a full circle dream come true. I didn't get a huge part, but I landed a small role in Lena Dunham's show, HBO's Camping, starring Jennifer Gardner, who was my co-star. It was fabulous. Like, obviously, I went in and did this job, and it was incredible, but to get invited to the premiere and walk the red carpet, there was not any other co-star on that carpet. Everybody on that carpet was a main actor. So to be invited and walk the carpet with such people that I respect. You know, I walked in with Jenny Connor and Trayvon Free and Jennifer Gardner. So David Tennant, people that I admire a lot in this business. It was a full circle dream come true. And to watch my episode at the Paramount Theater inside the studios, it really just was incredible, Grant. It was such a dream come true. So I can't wait to really kind of build on this and really...
Absolutely.
Now that I've shown the industry what I can do, you know what I mean? I've had a couple little auditions that has banked this, but the most exciting thing is I've gotten new representation and new managers, so I'm really looking forward to killing it this year.
Well, that's like part of the Hollywood talk of all of this is like, yeah, I mean, you get on a series like that and then you are able to move up in the world with new management, and that makes a huge difference. I'm sure already you're probably feeling it, right? Absolutely.
There's an article coming out about me in a couple weeks. A magazine article just showcasing young LA up-and-comers and people that are really kind of creating a buzz in Hollywood. And I was fortunate to be featured. Excellent. So that'll be out soon. So make sure to I look forward to that. And I'll be sharing that with everyone as well. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about
Congratulations.
this. It's an exciting time. But, you know, it's an actor's life. It's just kind of back to the drawing board.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's how it is. But the TV hosting thing is really going great as well. So I just really feel like that's the key to success these days, is not limiting yourself and just being a master of everything.
What's the word I'm thinking of? You just have to like man a larger stove now versus being able to concentrate on growing one thing. Like, okay, like just auditioning for television series. Now you're going to have so many pots on the stove. You can't focus on one thing. And that's what I find is the unfortunate side, but also you're now broadening your chances.
Well, I was going to say you can just focus on one thing, but sometimes you can get left in the dust.
Exactly.
I was just talking to a friend who said, do I really have to do social media? And I said, you don't have to do social media, but you know, how are people going to see you? It's free promotion.
Yeah. I wish I could kind of just not care so much. I get so wrapped up in the numbers of the show, and I worry when I see followers drop when I'm not tweeting, and it's such a silly thing to worry about, but yet we are told this is how you get work in this business. So it's like, do you want to do it? Then you got to do this. It's tough.
It is tough, but we appreciate everyone. And the people that support us, because trust us, you guys seriously make a difference in our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you make it all worth it. I mean, I can't tell you when I get a direct message from someone in the U.S. or a different country that just loved the episode or just like loved to hear my grandmother rant about something. Like, like that means so much to me that people just enjoy it, the stuff that I put out, and it is so much work. This show is a ton of work, but I really appreciate it when people are, into it, and just those simple DMs make it all worth it. So it means a lot.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And it's about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I want to know, do you think with this drama, this trailer, this off-screen drama that we're all desperately trying to talk about, I mean, it all comes down to a little dog, obviously. And Dorit and a tiny little dog. But do you think this season is going to redeem itself? Do you think it's going to be back up there again? Or do you think it's going to be another snooze fest?
I think this season's going to be absolutely terrible. I am predicting it right now. I don't mean to be negative, but I mean to be true. I think that them bringing in Brandy at the 11th hour, they knew they had to do something. Ooh. I will look forward to that. I think now they do realize that they are in trouble. I mean, I could have told them this 2 or 3 years ago. So I think the next season... Well, what are we going? If we're going into season 9, right? So season 10 will be pretty good because I think by then they'll have a clue. Like they gotta fix this. Season 9, I think it'll end good, but it's going to be a long season.
Well, what about
that's
the fact
my
that
prediction?
Kyle and Lisa are fighting.
Yeah, but if Lisa won't film, there's no one to fight with. It's just going to be Kyle out to lunch with each individual housewife talking about how she hasn't heard from Lisa. So I'm concerned. I mean, I'm worried. So
it's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Well, I hope I'm wrong, but this is just my feeling. You asked my thoughts. This is how I feel.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of Housewives, AfterBuzz TV, you're hosting there. What are you covering?
I'm covering Real Housewives of Atlanta. You can catch me Sunday nights, 9 p.m.
We just had Erica Edwards on also co-hosting. Yes.
But we have a lot of things coming up. Hopefully, we'll have a new Bravo podcast coming out.
I want to hear more about this.
Some star AfterBuzzers. We only want the best. So hopefully we'll get some people we've been reaching out to. But make sure to just, keep up with us. Keep up with us because we got a lot of things happening this year. You and me both, right?
I like to think so. There's a lot going on in the month of January. I'll tell you that. It's been a very long month. I've done like a year's worth of work in the last 3 weeks.
You got 2 weeks left, too.
The winter months are long, and I don't care what people say about February being the shortest month. When you get to April, it's like, what? Anyway, it's all good. I love you for listening. I hope this show made somebody laugh somewhere around the world. So please keep up with us. Of course, there's more rants to come. And you guys can check Lian out on a lot of different things in different places. Where can we find you? What's best?
Find me on my Instagram at HollywoodLian. It's the same thing on Twitter. You can find me doing Insta stories talking about Real Housewives. There's always a clip of me going off about some housewife. So make sure to check that out. And we had a little guest in the studio, my 4-legged daughter, Fiona.
Yes, the first visitor, the first bitch we've had in studio.
Yes, so we'll be going to Vanderpump Pets afterwards.
Oh, nice.
Because it all goes to the proceeds, and that's the one thing I do like to support about Lisa.
Yeah.
Is her dog foundation. So, check me out on Instagram because I'm always up to something.
There you go. And my DMs are open. So if you want to talk to me about Celebrity Big Brother, my thoughts on this upcoming season of Beverly Hills, you can find me everywhere at It's Grant's Rants. I love you for listening. We'll be back with more rants as always. Keep it real.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the Rants on Patreon at patreon.com/Grant's Rants. Follow Grant on Twitter and Instagram at It's Grant's Rants. Cover art created by RHONJ. Voiceover by Original theme music by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.